Adetunji Fatukun, the National Secretary of the Christian Association of Nigeria, to please take the Christian prayer. Thank you very much. He's here. Don't worry. Just don't worry.
I'm not Pastor Samson Adef, Reverend Dr. Stephen Panya Baba, and I'm the Vice President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, representing the President, Archbishop Daniel Oko. Let us pray, please. Heavenly Father, we are so grateful because this is the day that you have made, and we are glad and are rejoicing in it. Now, O Lord, that this summit has been convened for the peace, progress, and development of our nation. We acknowledge your lordship over us and over this nation, and indeed the entire nation and universe. And present, O Lord, this summit before your holy throne of grace. We ask that by your Holy Spirit, you will guide, you will lead us, and work out every aspect of this summit to your perfect end. Grant that at the end, O Lord, it shall turn out for the great, great blessing of this nation and the glory of your mighty, mighty, mighty name. Thank you once more again that you are here, you are in total control, and you shall overrule in everything that will be done. For we have asked all this with thanksgiving in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you very much. Shall we invite the Imam, the National Masjid, Imam Professor Lukman Zakaria, to please come forward and take us through the prayer from the Muslim religious persuasion. Or the representative, please. Thank you very much. Please, as we wait, can we have him to please come forward? All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa sallim ala ali Muhammad wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa sallim ala ali Muhammad wa sallim. Ya ayyu ya qayyum ya hayyu ya qayyum ya hayyu ya qayyum ya zul jalali wal ikram. Ya hayyu ya qayyum ya zul jalali wal ikram. Ya hayyu ya qayyum ya hayyu ya qayyum ya zul jalali wal ikram. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Law anzalna hadha al-Qur'ana ala jabalin la'ra'aytahu khashi'an mutabi'an min khashyatillah wa tilka al-amsalu rabbuha lin-nas la'allahum yatafakkarun. Huwa Allahu allazi la ilaha illa huwa alimul ghaibi wash-shahadati huwa ar-Rahmanur Rahim. Huwa Allahu allazi la ilaha illa huwa al-malikul quddus salamun min jabbar mutakabbir subhanallahi wa ma yushrikun. Huwa Allahu balikul balikul la muzammilis Azim. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you very much. May we be seated. Thank you very much. But we can also do something. Let's celebrate ourselves with a big round of applause. That the National Assembly, let's also appreciate our country, Nigeria, one more time. Thank you very much. Today, as I said, is a day of nostalgia. It's a day that we all gathered here at the National Summit of the former legislators with the theme National Unity and Nation Building Beyond 2031. It is indeed a pleasure to have everyone that is seated here. We all know that the National Forum of Former Legislators is a Nigerian platform that unites ex-legislators to leverage their legislative experience for democracy, governance, and national development. Today, we have a number of information that will be shared, and I have the privilege and honor to welcome and really appreciate the leadership of this country, our own very own President, His Excellency, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is the Grand Patron and a former senator. If we don't love anything, even if you don't love yourself, we love Nigeria. Make some noise for our president, please. Woo! Thank you very much. And also another former senator who we also here today. He might not be here, but he's very here with us in spirit and even in presence, because most of us are Nigerians. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it is on record that we acknowledge him, Senator Kashim Shettima Mustafa, GCON. He is also a former senator. Let's put our hands together for him, whether in the room or wherever we know they are with us in spirit. We also wish to thank the mother of the nation, Her Excellency, Senator Oloremi Tinubu, CON, First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, was also a former senator. Let's put our hands together. Also the Secretary to the Government of the Federation of Federal Republic of Nigeria, former senator as well, Chief Dr. George Akume, we also want to thank you. Let me pause the why. He is right here in the room. But I wish to first and foremost acknowledge the Vice President of the Senate that is here. Forgive me because he is my colleague. I wish to welcome distinguished Senator Barao Jibrin, a fellow of the Certified National Accountants of Nigeria. We are all co-fellows. Please put your hands together for accountants. I am also an accountant. Thank you very much. The convener of this very lovely occasion, this summit, is a man who I've been admiring right from when I was born. I have watched him and I really looked at his diction and the way he composes himself, his comportment, and indeed the way God has blessed him with leadership. I'm talking of the convener here today, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, the Chief of Staff to the President. Thank you very much, who is the former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Thank you very much, sir, for agreeing to be here today. And also just to place on record, if the organizers will permit me, since we have it here on the program, we have the host, the man who is the FCT Minister, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezen Wonyisem Wike, CON, is the Minister of FCT. We also wish to thank the Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, the Executive Governor of Imo State, who is also a former senator. I told you at the beginning of this, when I given the prelude of this function, that this government really, we can term it to be legislative government, or a government of legislators. Let's celebrate this government. And that is why we are all making sure that things move really in the process we want to see them. I want to thank everyone who is here, and I will come back to you, but I wish to quickly bring onto the podium the national coordinator of this forum, Right Honorable Raphael Nana Ibukwe. I have a number of recognitions to do or to take, but I just wish to make sure that we start the program and we'll be alternating the introduction. As I said, everyone seated in this room will be specially acknowledged. So let me welcome the coordinator to please come forward and take the next item on the program, which is he will brief me further. I want to come back to you and I'll touch base with him. Music, please just be up a bit. Thank you. Let's give us some music background. Thank you. Cynthia Agbo, my co-MC, please come forward. By the way, my name is John Pilaku. I've been a master of ceremony for some years, just about 28, 29 years, and I'll be the one answering this with my lovely colleague, the Cynthia Agbo, a broadcaster. Please put your hands together for her as you take other recognitions. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. I For the purpose of protocol, please, music can be off. I wish to distinctively, in a very respectful manner, acknowledge the chairman of today's event. Another very lovely Nigerian, a father, a legislator, a quintessential leader at that, a man who has become a point of reference in this country. I'm talking of no other person but His Excellency Senator Ken Nnamani, former Senate President, whom today God has blessed us with his presence to be the chairman. I will therefore invite him very shortly, but let me also place on record that His Excellency Senator Ame Ebute, the former Senate President, is also in the room. He's already seated and looking at us here. Please, let's put our hands together. I would also wish to welcome Right Honorable Patrick Ete, the former Speaker, House of Representatives. Thank you very much. I would also wish to welcome Right Honorable Bangida and Jureje, the former Deputy Speaker. Thank you very much. May I distinctly invite the chairman. So sorry, I skipped. I just want to welcome another Senate President, a man who has served this country in so many breaths. As the Senate President, as Secretary to the Government of the Federation, as everything, even down to the family, he has been the leader. Let's welcome our very dear loved one, Senator Pius Ayim Pius. A round of applause. That's the name I wanted to change my name to. But I will do that maybe when I come back again. Thank you very much. May I invite the chair of today's function, the former Senate President, Senator Ken Nnamani, to please do us a wondrous task of coming forward to quickly give us the chairman's opening remarks. I will give him the microphone wherever he is. Please, even if I have not clapped for anybody, clap for this moment. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It looks that the seats are oversubscribed. We have more seats occupied by people, and there are more people hanging outside. The MC has done a lot of work, so I'm not going to spend more time with protocol. He's eminently qualified for what he's saying, and he has spoken quite a bit. The National Forum of Former Legislators. We had a similar summit in Abuja some time ago. We had people in audience, but not as many as this. It has become popular. Thank you. Because legislators are trustees of the people. Legislators are the trustees of the voters. If you notice the number of people that cast their ballots on election day, not many of them are members of any political party. So I congratulate Femi for deeming it necessary to know that people who make a lot of difference and convince people at the grassroots, or if you like, the tap roots of our electoral system, are the legislators, whether serving or former or current. So it's a brilliant idea that most of us here in the room served as legislators. Our royal fathers, distinguished gentlemen and ladies, we are gathered here to educate ourselves and what we should be doing to assist our country. The issue of succession plan, moving from one regime to the other. If we follow it properly, what has been going on in the country is that when people serve 4 years and they've done well, we return them for another 4 years. And again, there's concept of north-south dichotomy. So, we are gathered here as former legislators who will go back and educate the voters, because we don't expect all voters to come and sit here. And our royal fathers that are here, it's very kind of you that found time to listen to political talk. So, I will allow the national coordinator to give details of why we are gathered here today. But as I said, a similar gathering has taken place in Abuja. That was for the South. And today, we're here for the whole Federation, both North and South. So the numerical strength of the attendees is understandable. And I take the opportunity in congratulating everyone and say Happy New Year to those of you who have not seen this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would please that we put our hands together more properly if we were trying to put our hands together for that speech. All right, before we call on the national coordinator to come give his opening remarks, I would like to humbly recognize the presence of the Honorable Minister of Interior, who is also a former member of the House of Representatives, the person of Honorable Tunji Ojo. Please, a big round of applause. And also like to recognize the presence of Ambassador Yusuf Toga, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria. Please put your hands together. Okay, we're going to correct that very shortly. We're going to correct that very shortly.
Just take this.
But let's move on straight to the opening remarks by Honorable Nana Ubokwe as he comes forward, the national coordinator.
Thank you very much. This gentleman. Thank you very much. This personality you see, he has worked tirelessly in all administrative and running around. And I think he deserves to be supported with a thunderous round of applause before he presents his remarks. Thank you very much, Honorable Ralph Ibokwe. Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Senate President, Your Excellency, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chief of Staff to the President, my leaders, former presiding officers here present, my leaders, Your Highnesses, distinguished senators, honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure I once again welcome you to the 2026 National Summit of the National Forum of Former Legislators. We are gathered here to brainstorm, reflect, and engage in frank and constructive conversations on the unity, stability, and future of our dear nation. We deemed it imperative to convene this strategic gathering in order to reaffirm our collective commitment to peaceful and harmonious coexistence as a fundamental pillar of stability and national progress. As a public interest group and peace advocates, we remain steadfast in our resolve to work toward the building of a peaceful, tolerant, and inclusive society. We are all Nigerians, and we share in a collective responsibility to fix Nigeria. Reflecting on the theme of our summit, national unity and nation building beyond 2031. It will be recalled that following our Northern Dialogue Session Summit, the Southern Summit, we collectively resolved that in the interest of unity, peace, and national progress, the South should complete its 8-year tenure in office. In the same vein, through our Northern Summit, we maintain that it's also in the interest of the North that the incumbent president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GSFR, completes the tenure of the South. This position was anchored on the understanding that introducing another Southerner at this stage could amount to giving a blank check for tenure elongation. Having boldly spoken about the necessity of completing the South's tenure in 2027, we must also be courageous enough to talk about the future, 2031 and beyond. Without any pretense, one of the root causes of conflict in our society had always been the struggle for control of power. In view of the emerging and evolving issues and realities, as critical stakeholders in the Nigerian project, we must act in concert toward building a peaceful, prosperous, and enduring federation. One is therefore tempted to ask, is it not time for us as a people to consider the codification of power rotation between the North and South in our status? Many believe that such a framework could lay a stronger foundation for national unity by fostering trust, reducing suspicion, and promoting fairness among our diverse ethnic groups. We commend our security agencies for their tireless efforts in confronting the security challenges facing our nation. However, we call for greater action. We acknowledge that security is everyone's business, and therefore urge all Nigerians to continue to support the government and our security institutions in their efforts to tame the activities of enemies of the society. We urge the government not to relent in identifying, exposing, and prosecuting sponsors of terrorism, ensuring that they face the full wrath of the law. We preach peace and urge all citizens to promote ethnic and religious tolerance. On other matters of national interest, we have followed with keen interest and attention the developments surrounding the passage of the electoral bill. With the greatest respect to the Deputy Senate President, who have been a counselor and a leader to us, while we do not intend to preempt the outcome of deliberations of the National Assembly, we once again strongly appeal that former legislators be considered for inclusion as statutory delegates to political parties, conventions, and congresses. While we acknowledge that it is the exclusive prerogative of serving members to pass the bill, so we humbly and most respectfully wish to remind them that one day they too shall become former members. We commend the government for its numerous reforms and urge it to remain focused on turning around the socio-economic fortunes of our country for the benefit of all Nigerians. Once again, our convener and leader, once again, we appeal to the government to urgently attend to the plight of our senior members, especially those of the Second and Third Republics, by addressing the backlog of their outstanding advances. They are aging. This can be done in phases or batches until the issue is fully resolved. Your Excellency, what we are trying to say here is that, as they say in local parlance, at all, nahin bad. So Your Excellency will be glad that the plight of our senior colleagues is being given attention so that they can benefit from it while they are still alive. With due respect, sir. Your Excellency, this message is dear to our hearts. We humbly request that you help convey this message to our grand patron. In conclusion, we want to commend the convener, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, for once again creating an opportunity for us to converge and share thoughts on critical national issues. I warmly welcome all delegates to the 2026 National Summit and pray that the Almighty God guides our deliberations and grant us journey mercies back to our respective destinations. I want to crave your indulgence to thank all our leaders here seated, with no particular order, but to thank the DSP, one of our ambassadors in the executive, and Your Excellency, want to thank you for exporting one of our best to the executive arm, in the person of Dr. Tunji Ojo. Also to thank our colleague, Honorable Minister Sononu. He sent another leader who sent a representative, Senator Abdulaziz Yari. He has been a great support to us, and we want to thank him. To all our leaders seated here, from the chairman, Father, that is what I call him, distinguished Senator Kenny Namani, to Senate President Pius Anyim, to His Excellency Ebute, Right Honorable Patricia Ete, our indefatigable Yakubu Dogara, Your Excellency Sankoroje, our national leader, and all those who have, in one way or the other, made the day a reality. We want to also thank especially our royal fathers. We took it upon ourselves, it's a deliberate attempt, to invite you as observers to this summit, so that you can hear what your subjects, who have sat on this side, and what we're thinking about the nation, our concern about the peace and stability of the nation, our interest in the peaceful coexistence of Nigerians, because we realize Nigeria belongs to all of us. We have to get Nigeria moving forward, and with your support. So you help us with the good news, with the positions we take here to help us to spread this message down to your domains and your constituencies, so that our people embrace peace and we continue to enjoy harmony in the country. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Today, from the words of the National Coordinator, we stand at a defining moment in our nation's journey. This summit by the National Forum of Former Legislators, is not merely an event, according to him. It is a call to reflection, a call to action, and a call to envision Nigeria's future beyond the immediate horizon. Our distinguished former lawmakers, custodians of democratic memory, and guidance of legislative wisdom, have gathered here to share insights that will shape the destiny of generations yet unborn. Their collective voice reminds us that nation building is not a sprint, but a relay, where each generation must hand over the baton stronger, steadier, and more united. Today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, he has really espoused that unity is our strength. Democracy is our foundation. Vision beyond 2031 is our responsibility. Chairman of this occasion, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if he has not said anything, He has encapsulated his speech by saying that unity is our strength. And I think he deserves a thunderous round of applause. Shall we please put our hands together for him? Thank you very much, the coordinator. Today is a summit. It is not just a political gathering, but it's a summit, as I said, where we have to articulate issues relating to nation building beyond 2031. And I do expect that as we're all seated here today, we will be doing ourselves a wondrous task of getting the issue straight. But let me quickly acknowledge in a very special way a few dignitaries that are here, in no specific order, but I just wish to welcome and thank some of the presiding officers. Maybe they were not mentioned, maybe they're not here, but for the purpose of record, we must take them in this order. Senator Ahmed Lawa was a former Senate president, a round of applause. Also not forgetting His Excellency His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Bello Mansari, former Speaker. We've already acknowledged our lovely mother, Right Honorable Patricia Ete. But we also want to please on record that Right Honorable Demij Bankole was a former Speaker. We'd also wish to welcome in a very special way, credible Nigerian, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, who walked in this arena. Please, sir, may you rise so that cameras will put you straight on record. Yes, sir, we need you to be upstanding with no disrespect. Thank you very much, sir. We'd also wish to welcome, no, maybe he's not here, Right Honorable Chibudun Nwuche and Right Honorable Babangida S.M. Ngoroje, former Deputy Speaker. Thank you very much. And also, as I said, I will acknowledge everyone here, but I want you to agree with me. I want to say that because of time, we might not be going to do the way you were expecting, but I want to say quickly that we have from Cross River State distinguished Senator Florence Itagiwa, one-time advisor to the President of National Assembly Matters, a mother at that. Ma, where are you? We spotted you a while ago. Please put your hands together for her. Thank you very much. I would also wish to place on record that distinguished Senator Professor Stephen Ode, who is the current Commissioner for Education from Cross River, is here. Honorable Chief Nya Asuko, Nigerian Ambassador to Uganda. Honorable John Gao, former Speaker Cross River. I have from that side Honorable Dominic Edem, Honorable Dan Asuko, Honorable Chris Mbuoga, Honorable Itaya Asuko Nyong. We also have so many people here who would like to acknowledge, but then I'll come back again. But let me quickly place it on record that Senator Dr. John Bob Nwan, former Deputy Minority Leader, is here from Abia State. Thank you very much. We will take recognitions later on, and I have to quickly invite a few who will be giving us goodwill messages. We'll move on to the next item. If we turn to page 1, the program is on goodwill messages, and I would like to invite Professor Okechukwu to please give us a goodwill message. Let's put our hands together for Prof. Thank you very much, sir. Professor Okechukwu. Please, I've been made to understand that 2 minutes is allotted for goodwill messages. Please, let's keep to time, and I will be the timekeeper here. Please put your hands together for him. Professor Okechukwu. Thank you very much, sir. You will use this podium, sir.
Your Excellencies, our distinguished representatives at all levels. Moderator, I think you made a slip of the tongue when you said 2 minutes. Am I correct? It was a clear slip. A few things, given the topic. Sorry? Okay. So, the issue on the table from the papers I saw spoke of a forward-looking framework for national building beyond 2031. First, the significance of this gathering. A nation that doesn't bring together its leaders of the past will draw fewer experiences, will leave the younger generation thinking that they know everything, and will also be responsible for the destruction of his own future. So for me, the first major significance of this event is that we have woken up to the human resources we've been allowing to waste. The second one is the fact that the politics of 2027 matters. Those of you who agree that it matters, say aye. I think the ayes have it. The nays, don't let me hear you. And we'll talk briefly on the way forward. So the main point is that this forum, I was told I was going to speak for 10 minutes. So since it's 2 minutes, I will leave it at that. So on these 3 points, I will just summarize what I have to say. I've told you the significance of the event. Why 2027 matters is that we ought to have robust opposition before 2031. And the opposition parties are not giving us that. The one that claims to be the major opposition is too disorganized. The other one that's new and did well in the elections is too busy on social media and the internet. And I've told them there is no polling booth on internet. There is no ballot box on Instagram. Much of the membership they had initially, they've lost because of lack of strategic engagement. And finally, the man they're planning to take on is a strategist, left the private sector, joined politics, came into Nadeco, went into exile, came back, became governor against all odds, became president against all odds after producing his own president in 2015. If you're going for a gunfight, don't take a catapult. And what I see is that the opposition mistakes press releases for opposition. There's no strategic engagement to strengthen membership. There's little cohesion. And they are hoping that when you sing a Christmas carol, you'll get the presidency. Elections require legs on the ground, effective strategy, mobilization, not the goodwill of people who shake your hand and say, I like your speech. If anybody knows members of the opposition, get across to them and tell them that opposition is not speech-making and that they are taking on a strategist who, from all indications, has used bare hand to kill a lion raw. Honorable members, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, mine is not just to give you a goodwill message, but to state, and I quote, it depends on you. You cannot, with the experience you have, go and sit in your houses. Besides this forum, create others. There's the Leadership Mentorship Institute, set up by Honorable Jabiamila. Imagine that all of us here, each person sets up some kind of platform where he or she is able to relate to 2 or 3 young people to transfer some knowledge, discipline, insight into how society works to have a better Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. He has taken 2 minutes, and please, we expect that others will follow in that respect. Let me just crave the indulgence of the chairman and others to just quickly say that this personality wasn't acknowledged when he came in. The APC chairman in our midst, ably represented by Honorable Garba Dati, the national vice chairman, APC Northwest, representing the chairman of APC, national chairman. A round of applause, please. Thank you. We'll quickly move on and take Professor Fabogund, who will come to also deliver a goodwill message on behalf from the Southwest generally. And not on behalf, but he is standing for the Southwest. A round of applause for Professor. Don't mind me that I'm calling professors, but of course this is summit. We need their knowledge and their academic Kilimanjaro personality.
Thank you very much, able compare. I heard something like Fagbo gone. It's not Fagbo gone, it's Fagbo home. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The chair of summit, the convener, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Chief of Staff, Your Excellencies and Royalties, the national coordinator, other members of ESCO and organizing committee, esteemed parliamentarians, good afternoon. I was privileged yesterday to ride with an esteemed member of this summit who is 83 years old. And I'm making reference to Honorable Monzo Owolabi. He was ebullient and looking radiant. And I thought to myself, for all of us here present, it is grace that we have to be a part of this national movement. It is grace that we have to be leading a discourse on national unity and national development. I raise up my mind and say, I'm happy to be a part of this. It depends on you. Are you happy to be a part of this? I am happy to be a part of this. The theme could not have come at a better time. When you look at what is happening globally, and you look at what is happening nationally, Nigeria is not alone in terms of challenges. All you need to do is to have listened to what happened. The conversations at Davos in the last 1 week alone is enough for you to have an understanding that challenges will always confront man. And it is for all of us here, particularly you, our leaders, it is for you to bring out your torchlight and confront these challenges and move forward, knowing fully well that we'll achieve the goals. I listened intently to the national coordinator, and I picked 3 things. And those 3 things, I'll mention them, and I'll get away from here. The first one, he called for national unity. I dare say, distinguished leaders, nations don't achieve national unity by accident. It is deliberate act of leaders like this that brings about national unity. And I also say, there is no constituency that is as strong as the legislature when you are looking at that body that can bring about national unity. When the compere was talking about almost all our leaders at different times who are part of the legislature. What does that tell us? And my colleague here, when he left, he said it. What it tells us is we have the knowledge, we have the capacity to make it happen. All we need to do is to be sincere and promise ourselves that we will make it happen. The second issue I picked from the national coordinator, rotational presidency. Distinguished leaders, I will say this. If you have had a summit and you have recognized that this is what we need to do, already at the party level we are doing it. Informally we are having that conversation. We know that is where to go. Since we have recognized that, we should not be deterred by the fact that there are issues, because there are arguments for, there are arguments against. We should not be deterred by that. We should just ask ourselves, let us sit together as we are doing. Leverage on the knowledge of the past and that of the present, and then think through the solutions that will make it happen so that we don't have the tension that we currently have and be able to move forward as a nation. Finally, the coordinator mentioned something about the need for continuity. One of the things that we cannot deny, all of us, whether you are for or against, you cannot deny that the current administration has what you call political will to push a lot of things. You cannot deny that the current administration is intentional about reforms. You also cannot deny the fact that there's an understanding of diversity. Let me say this, for those who may be wondering, that yes, there are still issues. This administration has shown clearly that it is not afraid of making mistakes. What we should not do is to run away from reforms because we want to make mistakes. But let us do what we think we should do. When we make mistakes, the way the administration confronts mistakes by correcting them is the right way. So we should not be scared of making mistakes. But we should be ready when we identify them, bring to bear our consensus and knowledge as we are doing at this gathering, and ensure that we correct those mistakes. Finally, I want to say that for me, it gives me great pleasure and honor to be a part of this, to make these few comments of mine in terms of moving our nation forward. And just as my colleague said, I will say, we have a great nation. We have a great nation that none of us should toy with. Any other place we go, we will be second-class citizens. This is where we are first-class citizens. We are the people who will make it work. And future generations will say thank you to all of us. I thank you.
We thank the erudite scholar, professor of repute, professor of law, Professor Fagbong. He was at some point the vice chancellor of the Lagos State University. We need to put our hands together when the vessel of knowledge and academics speaks. They are not just speaking, but they are coming from informed position of research and evidence. Please, we thank you very much for your few minutes. Let me quickly invite Right Honorable Patricia Ate, our lovely mom, to please also have the time to give us 2 minutes. A one-time speaker of the House of Representatives. A round of applause. Shall we move her right here? Thank you very much, ma'am. Ma, please, I will crave your indulgence to come up here so that the word sees you better. Again, put your hands together for her. She remains very younger and younger. What's the secret? There's joy in retirement. Yeah. Please celebrate this woman of substance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The secret is peace of mind. My dear colleagues here seated, please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. But that notwithstanding, I still need to recognize very few people. The Deputy Senate President here, my dear leader, Senator Ken Namani, the leader of all the former presiding officers, the convener of this beautiful August summit, and also our royal fathers here present. My dear colleagues, you are all welcome. I don't have much to say than to say a very special thank you to the convener of this organization. Why am I saying this? There are a lot of faces that there were more than 15 years that I have seen. But for this gathering, I've been able to see a lot of faces. However, can we give ourselves a round of applause for being here? Thank you. However, let us talk about why we are here. How we can move this nation forward. Let me say precisely that without National Assembly, there's nothing like democracy. And I'm so happy that we are here as a body to give directions to the current members of the National Assembly. What to do and what is expected of them so that we can continue to enjoy the peace and tranquility in this nation. As far as I'm concerned, yes, it is true that we've drawn 2 terms of presidency. But before I go into the analysis of that one, let me quickly say that we here, we are not just only APC members. It's a combination of all the political parties and those that believe in continuity of this current governance. I happen to come from the south, precisely the southwest. And when we held this same summit in Abuja, I don't think I need to hide my feelings because we believe in continuity. And I didn't hide it, I said it, and I pleaded that they should give us opportunity to finish our term. And I assure them that when is the turn of the Northerners, we do not need to start arguing with them. We will support them wholeheartedly. I'm speaking like a politician now. And I don't want to hide my feelings. We need to work hand in hand. But the issue there now is when we make something, we need to keep the promise. It's only the promise that can assist this nation to grow. When the time comes, we cannot fight with the Northerners. Southerners here, please put that in your mind. And not only that, I want to suggest something. I discussed with the president of this organization last night. I said, you are talking of us, the Southerners, and you are talking of us, giving the baton to the Northerners. How are we going to accept that? Are we still going to continue in 2 terms, that when the time comes, we start fighting each other? The answer is capital no. I want to suggest, it's my own personal suggestion, that we should try as much as possible to make it 5-year term. So that when you finish your own zone, you know that this thing is automatically going back to the north or to the south. So that it will make it clear that we can work together as one nation. Please, my brothers and sisters here seated, I've been hearing you introducing all the men. You never introduced my women. My women, can you kindly stand up and be recognized that you're a member of this organization? Thank you very much. We need a special quota to increase the population of these women here present. And I can assure you that that will be done under this administration. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to be here. And we promise that we will support the present government to continue for the second term, make the second term, and we'll take it back to the north. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
One more time, a round of applause to the voice of women and the voice of Nigeria. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Patricia Ete, for your words of goodwill to the summit today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're coming down to also another personality of this nation, a man who indeed has also become a point of reference. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Senator Pius Anyim Pius to please give us a few words or remarks at this event. Goodwill message for 2 minutes. I know him, he has been out there, and he knows essentially how to manage time better. Please put your hands together. He uses gavel at some point. He has been an administrator, and we know that he's quite an excellent personality. He will take like 1.5 minutes, who knows. Please put your hands together and celebrate this great Nigerian. Thank you very much, sir.
The chairman, the convener, deputy senate president, former presiding officers, members of the head table, your royal highnesses, my dear colleagues. Well, let me say that when I got invitation to be part of this event, I quickly did a short goodwill message, which is published in the brochure. Well, a few additions to that will be to formally use this opportunity to welcome my colleagues to this very all-important summit and to heartily congratulate the convener for making this summit possible. Mr. Convener, I want to say that by this platform, you are actually raising a cohort of patriots to defend our democracy. I want to believe that all of you agree with me that democracy is the only platform that can guarantee inclusive nation building, the only platform that can bring everybody together. And you cannot have a better vanguard other than members of the National Assembly or the legislative houses. Let me also say that the theme of this summit is most apt. I think that the substance of the summit is the issue of power sharing or rotation. And for us as legislators, the only instrument we know to stabilize society is making laws. And I want to say, if all of us agree, and I watched all other speakers coming short of it, if all of us agree that rotation is necessary for us to be stable as a polity, why wouldn't we constitutionalize it? I want to say that this summit should not rise without coming up with that recommendation that we needed rotation in our constitution to stabilize our polity. I thank you all.
The chair of this occasion, Senator Ken Naman, you can agree with me that time management is his course of study. He took less than a minute. But quickly, I came from somewhere to the airport, and when I came, the young man who brought me, when he dropped me, he gave me a card, and his name on it was Dr. Yunus Musa, PhD, full stop. A driver. So I asked him, how can a driver be a doctor, PhD, and he's doing taxi? He told me, sir, honestly, by the side, that the DR is driver. The Yunus Musa is my name. The PhD means pothole dodger. Ladies and gentlemen, we have doctor and PhD doing taxes, and we'll get into that. Quickly, I want to move on to invite Honorable Dr. Tunji Ojo to please do us a one-round taxes, also moving a few minutes of goodwill message. Please put your hands together for him. I trust him. He's an innovative minister. He'll do it in 1 minute.
Thank you. May I especially recognize the chairman of the occasion, all former presiding officers and leaders in the House, royal fathers in the House. Let me, first of all, congratulate the national coordinator for a very wonderful program. To me, this program is the only program that can bring this caliber of people together. That's the truth. Because there is no part of Nigeria that is not here represented. And that tells you the beauty of the legislature. The legislature makes you to make friends, makes you to have a handshake across the Niger that you might never be able to do. And it is not by accident that even when you look at the United States of America, you will see that out of the 47 presidents of America, 17 presidents were former legislators. That's the truth. So all over the world, the legislature is the incubator of effective and efficient leadership. So for me, I want to congratulate each and every one of us for being here. But one point I would need to make is the fact that what lies ahead of us in 2027, it's the future of Nigeria. And it's important we get that point very clear. We understand that in 2022, a year before this president came on board, Nigeria spent $20 billion on fuel subsidy. In the same 2022, Nigeria spent over $10 billion on forex subsidy. That is $30 billion in 1 year. At the same time in 2022, Nigeria spent over 92% of its revenue on debt servicing. That was the situation of our country. It's important to understand that this president came on board, took the very difficult decision, took the decision presidents would have been scared to take in their second term. He took it in his first term, not even considering that he had an election ahead of him. He understood the fact that the turning point of every nation is a point when leaders must decide to either live for politics or live for posterity. He understood the fact that it's not about being presidential, it's about being a statesman. He took this decision not just for his generation, but for my generation and generation coming after me. That is the president we have. That is the risk he has taken. And Nigerians, being represented by each and every one of us, here seated, must go in 2027 and repay that and understand there wouldn't have been a Singapore without a Lee Kuan Yew. Every nation must have a statesman that defines, that redefines the destiny of that nation. And at this time, that is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let's go deliver and secure the future of Nigeria. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Very sound and clear and straight to the point. Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister, for your words. Simply, I want to put them words of exaltation, more or less. Thank you. I would really want to move on quickly to invite you heard the sound noise, nobody could shake. That is the indeed unity we are talking about. We were united in not being scared. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for yourselves. Thank you. Thank you. I will quickly wish to invite to bring another cream, the cream of our society, a politician, and indeed a quintessential leader. Let me please welcome the former Senate leader, all the way. He is from Cross River State, but he's truly a Nigerian. Senator Victor Ndoma Egba, SAN, legal luminary of repute, to please give us 2 minutes of goodwill. Please salute him. Put your hands together. Encourage him. Let's bring him faster. Sir, don't worry. You have 1.5 minutes, so no, don't be worried. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman of the occasion, let me stand on the established protocol. First, let me join in congratulating the conveners of this very important forum. Having legislators from every side of the divide, from every side of the country, it's very unique. Because when we talk of democracy, if you take away the legislature, there is no democracy. So the people seated here and their serving colleagues are those who define democracy. And these are the same people who, when our democracy was threatened in the past, rose to the occasion to protect it. When we were threatened by third term, it was you all who protected the Constitution. Again, when we were threatened by a succession issue, you came up with the doctrine of necessity to protect our democracy. Today, we enjoy 27 years of unbroken democracy, the longest in very many episodes of democracy. I say episodes of democracy because you had many years of military rule and short interventions of democracy in between. We enjoy 27 unbroken years of democracy today because not just of this legislature, but because of the precedents we had set. The precedents had been mentioned again by previous speakers, that understanding that because of our uniqueness, the uniqueness of our diversity, power moves north and south. It is the turn of the South now. Let us protect that diversity. Let us stand by. You say you don't change a winning formula. The formula that has made it possible for us to have 27 years of unbroken democracy. Let us keep it. Now, I hear that there are new parties in town. Well, I think the organizers believe that we've already gone past beyond 2027, and that is why the theme is national unity and nation building beyond 2031. So 2027 is taken as given. But let me just say this about the new opposition parties that we have. The brightest of them has a bright red color. It's a Ferrari, but it has only 2 gallons of fuel in it. By the time you rev, the fuel will finish and you can't take off. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, we thank you very much, sir. We thank Senator Ndoma for his good message. I would invite yet another great Nigerian who was also holding a leadership position at the National Assembly. He was indeed a speaker. Let me welcome Right Honorable Dr. Yakubu Dogara to please be the next to give us a good message. Let's celebrate this gentleman, a complete gentleman, an unassuming personality at that. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting to be here and also to do a good message.
Thank you very much. The chairman of this summit, my own chairman, the chairman of former presiding officers of the National Assembly, the convener of this summit, my leaders, former presiding officers, honorable ministers, traditional rulers. I guess I've recognized my colleagues, distinguished members of the National Assembly, both senators, serving former members of the House of Representatives.
Do I really have the campaign voice?
Sorry.
Okay, fantastic.
I think the mic is back, so let me rush so I can deliver my goodwill message. So let me say, as it has become a culture in this country that permit me to hide under the existing protocol. For me, it's always a joy to find myself in the presence of colleagues, especially those who mentored us in this art of lawmaking. You can see, in no particular order, in those days, when you hear about the Halim Sabodas, the Farouk Lawals, the Masi, and so on and so forth. So many faces here that I cannot mention. Exceedingly proud to be reconnecting with you at this summit. To me, this is not just a collection of former colleagues. It is the gathering of people who have sacrificed a significant portion of their life in governance, in serving people, in nation building, and in ensuring that our democracy survives. It is actually the gathering of cultural architects, because we are responsible for building the institutions upon which our democracy survives. Although consistently we don't get recognition or acknowledgement for that. The executive has always carried the glory. But if you look at all the institutions, whether it is EFCC, ICPC, all the advancements that our democracy has made, everything happens in the floor of either the House or of the Senate. And in most cases, the executive is not there. But once they sign that bill into law, they take all the credit. But it's the same government, so we're not complaining. So for me, what goodwill message do I have? I don't have much to say, apart from just, if time would permit, relating a very small encounter I had this January. I had traveled to a part of Northeast. As a matter of fact, I had my crossover night in Jalingo. And then January, we were at Mambila. That's the story I want to share. And when we get to Sardauna local government, the headquarters, of course, is Gembu, for those who know Northeast very well. And I was told that the president is constructing a road there. There is about 70 kilometers connecting Gembu to Mbamga to Yang and Lib, which is at the borders, national borders with Cameroon. So I decided to take a tour. I said, I want to see this road. And we drove. In those days, it was a journey that would take you 6 hours. But because of the progress being made, it took us 1 hour, 30 minutes. And by the time that road is completed, it will take you just 45 minutes to transit from our borders with Cameroon to Yambu. But that's perhaps not the story I want to share. I want to tell you about the joy that I experienced while undertaking that visit. The communities there hosted us, our royal fathers were there, and the paramount ruler of that area told me to extend their appreciation to the president. And that if I run into the president, I should tell him that this was the road that was promised to them before the plebiscite of 1961. And nobody ever did it until he came to power. So he said, as far as they are concerned, their 2027 election, especially presidential election, is already decided. That the president can go to bed. So I guess that is the sentiment of the entirety of Northeast. Yesterday, a delegation that came had, sorry, just borrow me 1 more minute. We had a dinner for them. And then we noted in particular the issue of improvement in security. This Christmas, from Jos to Abuja, if you are traveling by road, it will take you about 12 hours. What does that show us? I have not witnessed this number of people, number of citizens commuting to the Northeast in the last 10 years. Northeast, where I come from, was a region where people were migrating to either Jos or Abuja. I'll wrap up now. But this time around, because of faith in what the government is doing, because of the improvement in security, instead of running away from the Northeast, people were running to Northeast in order to celebrate the holidays. So we are thankful to Mr. President. Of course, we have one or two other things that we agreed I should communicate here. I'll do it in just 1 second. Apart from that, improvement in security, we have the entirety of Adamawa North and Borno South that were cut out from national grid. That area is in darkness. So we need more. We have the oil find in Bauchi and Gombe. We want to remind the government to do something about that. And then there's the Aponga, Jos, Bauchi, Gombe, Yola, and Jalingo Expressway, which has been awarded. We want Mr. President to attend to that as well. And then, of course, the Mambila power plant. There's a road from Gashaka to Mambila. If that is done, honestly speaking, I don't think in the Northeast we have any other issue. Then lastly, my leader talked about oppositions. We've had some of them who want to be loved for who they are really not, instead of being hated for who they are. Time has come for all of us here who know where the proverbial dead bodies are buried, to remind them that in 2027, we will stand up for the best of who we are. We will not bow down to the worst of who we are. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. May I just quickly, and lastly, just acknowledge Honorable Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu, Minister of State for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction. Thank you very much for being here. Lastly, let me invite the Deputy Senate President, Distinguished Senator Barao Jibrin, FCNA, to please give us 1.5 minutes. Please, I want to plead that we should keep to time because the live recording sessions will soon be over and we have not got the goodwill message or the keynote address, please. Thank you.
The chairman of this August event, former President of Senate, Ken Namani, the convener of this forum, former Speaker, House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. Please permit me to stand on the sitting protocol. Well, before I make my speech, I want to say 3 things. One, to confirm to this gathering that I got the message from the National Coordinator, which asked me to pass on to the National Assembly. I'll certainly do that. I'll certainly do that. And number 2, I also want to refer to his plea that we should abide by the principle of rotation, which has brought sanity in our polity since the beginning of the Fourth Republic. I stand with him. I stand on that, and I want that to be sustained. And of course, now the President, Bola Tinubu, is doing his first term, and as said by Senator Odoma, let's not reinvent the wheel. We've seen that it's working. We shall allow it to work. And so, just as said by Honorable Tunji Ojo, the President is doing well. He has said a few of the things that he's doing that is intended to bring prosperity to our nation. So, Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be allowed to do full 2 terms. And the third one is that the MC mentioned all the presiding officers since the beginning of the Fourth Republic, but he didn't mention one person who is a member of this forum. That is Right Honorable Gali Umanamba, who was a presiding officer and is now late. In our normal culture and tradition that we observe in our chambers, I call on the conveners that before the end of this event, we should observe a 1-minute silence to pay our last respect for him. Oh, it was only about Kota. Okay. Well, we can, since that's been done, then we should, but mention, you forgot to mention his name. Having said so, let me read my speech. Let me begin by commending the leadership and members of the National Forum of former legislators for this timely and visionary initiative, bringing together former legislators from across the Federation It's not only a celebration of service, but also a powerful reaffirmation of your continuing relevance to Nigeria's democratic journey. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues, former legislators occupy a unique and respected place in our national life. You are men and women who have had the privilege and burden of lawmaking, articulating the aspirations of the people and strengthening democratic institutions at critical moments in our history. Though you may no longer sit in legislative chambers, your experience, institutional memory, and statesmanship remain invaluable national assets. Nigerian democracy is still a work in progress as we navigate challenges of our governance, national cohesion, economic reform, and institutional trust. The wisdom of those who have been there is more needed than ever. Platforms such as this summit provide an opportunity to reflect, mentor, advise, and contribute constructively to national discourse beyond partisan divides. As Deputy President of the Senate, I can confidently say that the National Assembly benefits immensely from the foundation laid by past legislators. Many of the democratic norms, legislative traditions, and national practices we rely on today were shaped by your courage, debates, compromises, and vision. For these, the nation owes you gratitude. This summit also speaks to the importance of continuity in democratic governance. Democracy thrives not only on elections and institutions, but on shared values, collective memory, and responsible leadership across generations. Former legislators have a critical role to play in nurturing these values by mentoring younger lawmakers, promoting legislative professionalism, and defending democratic principles at all times. I am particularly encouraged by the theme and objective of this summit, which underscores the need for inclusive dialogue, national unity, and constructive engagement. At a time when our nation requires healing, trust building, and renewed commitment to the common good, your voices can help bridge gaps and inspire confidence in democratic governance. Let me assure you that the leadership of the National Assembly remains open to collaboration with this body. We recognize that governance does not end with tenure and that patriotism is a lifelong duty. In conclusion, I congratulate this body for successfully convening this national summit. I urge you to use this platform to generate ideas, forge partnerships, and reaffirm your commitment to a stronger, more united, and prosperous Nigeria. Thank you very much.
You could do better. A round of applause for our deputies and the president, an accountant, and a legislator put together in one basket makes him quite a formidable personality and a point of reference to Nigeria. When I was in school, there was one day a teacher came to the class and asked us, "Class, who will tell me who a pharmacist is?" Nobody could say anything. So one of my friends, I knew this guy would not know. His name was Musa Okoro. Okoro was, "Yes, sir, yes, sir." So my teacher said, "Musa Okoro, since you are the only person here who knows who a pharmacist is, take this cane and flog everybody in this class." Oh, Musa flogged in fact, like me, his friend, it was supposed to be 6, but he gave me 12. When he now finished, everybody was quiet. Teacher said, "Okay, Musa Okoro, since you know it, tell the class." Musa said, "Shisha, a pharmacist is a farmer who assists." Till today, the teacher fainted. And Musa Okoro, we don't know where he is, but we're looking for him to tell us who a pharmacist is. The chairman of this occasion, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to quickly bring one personality that we all know, but I just wish that you allow me to say a few words about this cream of personality of this country. He's a lawyer, a legislator, and a statesman. He served Nigeria with distinction for 2 decades in the House of Representatives, rising from minority leader to majority leader, and ultimately as the 14th Speaker of the House of Representatives. Today, he continues his service as Chief of Staff to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, bringing his deep legislative experience to the executive. Beyond titles and offices, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila is recognized for his commitment to education, youth empowerment, and parliamentary diplomacy, ensuring Nigeria's voice resonates on the global stage. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today at this National Summit of the former legislators, it is my privilege and honor to bring him up to the podium to please be the one to do us the wondrous task of presenting keynote address as the guest speaker at this event. Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise to welcome our convener, a man of character and a man of distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate this Nigerian. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You may be seated, sir.
Thank you very much. The chairman of this very important occasion, Deputy Senate President, the former Senate presidents that are here today, former speakers, honorable ministers, our royal fathers, and the most important leaders of all, my colleagues from the National Assembly. I, first of all, must say this is an occasion that gives me great joy. Perhaps many of you who may have been observant and studied my demeanor whilst I was sitting over there, I was full of smiles. I was a happy man, simply because of the faces that I see gathered here today. Faces I haven't seen in years. Faces that I only see in pictures, those who preceded me in the National Assembly. Faces that even came after I left, but who I have observed over the years. Faces from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south, depicting nothing but unity. It gives me great delight to stand before you. This rainbow coalition that depicts, like I said, nothing but the unity of Nigeria. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all sound this. This was set up to include all political parties. It's not an APC setup. It's not a PDP setup, not an ADC setup. It's for all former legislators, irrespective of party. But as it is, sometimes you cannot cheat nature in terms of osmosis. Naturally, the natural evolution, it appears that APC has taken over the coalition. Because here in this hall, you will find members of PDP hitherto, of SDP, of Labour, but who have now become a part of one single fabric, APC. But the door still remains open. It is a forum of former legislators. So if you're out there and you're a member of PDP or any other party, you're welcome. Because what we need is a debate of ideas. And I believe there is no one single party that is a fountain of knowledge. It is when we come together in unity that we can come to resolutions that will inure to the benefit of Nigeria as a whole. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I am deeply honored to join you today, and I am particularly heartened by the presence of so many familiar faces. I thank you sincerely for taking the time to be here, particularly those who have traveled long distances to participate in this engagement. We meet at a moment when the world appears unsettled and uncertain of its direction. Long-standing assumptions are being questioned. Familiar certainties are eroding, and the global environment is becoming more volatile. Yet, it is precisely in moments such as this that leadership is most needed. Your willingness to convene, to deliberate, and to contribute once more to national discourse speaks volumes about your enduring commitment to the idea of Nigeria and to the responsibilities that citizenship and leadership impose upon us all. I bring you warm greetings and good wishes from our national grand patron and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. He actually asked me when I told him about this program, when he was aware of it, he asked me with smiles on his face that, am I to come to this program? I took a look at him and I said to him, no, sir. This is just for your information. You can watch us on TV. He was a little bit disappointed. But really, we felt at the time that no, he should just sit and observe. He has asked me to convey, nonetheless, his profound appreciation to the National Forum of Former Legislators for your sustained dedication to nation building. He has also requested that I assure you that he continues to draw strength, insight, and guidance from the depth of political judgment, legislative experience, and administrative wisdom that this forum embodies as he advances the transformational objectives of the Renewed Hope agenda. At a time when leadership across the world is being tested by unprecedented global shifts, experience matters. Your collective experience is not only relevant, it is indispensable. This gathering is the culmination of months of consultation, dialogue, and engagement across the length and breadth of our country. The National Forum of Former Legislators occupies a unique and vital place in our national life. It brings together individuals who have not merely observed the evaluation of our democracy, but have actively shaped it, often under difficult circumstances and of critical moments in our history. The institutional memory represented in this room is a national asset of immense value. It must not be allowed to fade or be marginalized. Instead, it must be deliberately harnessed to inform present choices and to illuminate future pathways as we continue the long and unfinished journey towards a more perfect union. It is neither accidental nor merely symbolic that this summit is convened under the theme National Unity and Nation Building Beyond 2031. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and talk about unity and what it means and the implications and how to achieve it. But I'm going to weave it and tie it at some point and towards the end to 2027 and how we can achieve unity. The emphasis on beyond 2031 is both deliberate and instructive. It reminds us that nation building is not an event, nor the exclusive responsibility of any single administration. Nation building is a continuum. The Constitution of our Republic begins with a powerful promise. We call it the preamble. A powerful promise spoken in the name of every Nigerian. It says, we the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having firmly and solemnly resolved to live in unity and harmony as one indivisible and indissoluble sovereign nation under God. That's the language of the Constitution. Now, those words are not distant legal phrasing. They are a pledge made by our forebears and renewed by us today. They affirm that Nigeria was never meant to be a collection of rival camps, but one people bound together by a shared hope and a common future. That is why the Constitution provides for the principle of federal character, to ensure that no group is forgotten, no region is ignored, and no citizen feels like a stranger in their own country. In binding us together, the Constitution places a sacred responsibility on every Nigerian to defend our unity and protect our shared destiny. The unity of Nigeria is therefore not a matter of choice or convenience. It is a solemn duty we owe to one another and a sacred trust we hold under God. As veterans of the legislature, we understand perhaps better than most the meaning of unity in practice. Our legislature stands as one of the most enduring and tangible expressions of Nigeria's unity. Each day, within its chambers and committees, Nigerians of diverse ethnicities, religions, regions, ideologies, and social backgrounds come together to debate, to disagree, to negotiate, and ultimately to legislate in the national interest. The legislature demonstrates that unity does not require the erasure of difference. It does not demand that we abandon our identities, renounce our beliefs, or surrender our deeply held values in order to work together to achieve common goals. In the global arena, Nigeria is encountered as a single political and economic entity. Our internal distinctions, meaningful as they are to us, carry little strategic weight in a rapidly changing international system. That system itself is undergoing a profound transformation. The international order that has governed global trade, security arrangements, and diplomatic norms since the end of the Second World War is fracturing before our eyes. Power is being reasserted in increasingly raw and unconstrained forms. Economic competition is intensifying. Strategic alliances are shifting. Long-standing assumptions about multilateralism, restraint, and shared rules are being questioned and in some cases abandoned altogether. For countries such as Nigeria, this moment carries both danger and possibility. The danger lies in fragmentation. In a world that increasingly rewards scale and strategic clarity, internal disunity weakens national capacity. A divided nation struggles to project strength, to negotiate effectively, or to protect its interests. Disunity erodes investor confidence, undermines economic planning, weakens security coordination, and diverts leadership attention away from the long and demanding work of development. At this juncture, in global history, prolonged internal division would have extended and devastating consequences for Nigeria's well-being. It impairs our ability to respond to external economic shocks, deepens existing social and security challenges, and leaves us vulnerable in a world where weaker states are often compelled to accept unfavorable terms in trade, finance, and security. Disunity of this moment, or at this moment, does not merely delay progress. It multiplies risk, magnifies vulnerability, and transmits insecurity across generations. We must, therefore, be clear about the stakes. National unity is not an abstract moral aspiration. It is a strategic necessity. It is the foundation upon which economic resilience, national security, social stability, and international credibility are built. Without unity, development plans falter, reforms lose momentum, and the promise of prosperity recedes further from our reach. A few days ago, the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, declared the permanent rupture of the international rules-based order. He warned of a brutal reality in which geopolitics among the great powers is no longer subject to meaningful constraint, and where the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. For many in Africa and the global south, this reality is not new. We have long lived with an international system in which rules were applied unevenly, in which the powerful exempted themselves when convenient, and in which trade and legal regimes operated with varying degrees of rigor depending on who was involved. Yet this moment of global awakening presents an opportunity. It offers the chance to renegotiate, or rather to negotiate a new global settlement on trade, security, human rights, and the values that will shape the emerging world order. That negotiation is already underway. The nations best positioned to influence the outcome are those that possess strategic clarity about their place in the world, their objectives, and the means by which they intend to achieve them. Such clarity cannot be achieved in disunity. For Nigeria to participate effectively in shaping the new world order, we must first secure unity of purpose at home. We must enter this new epoch as one people and one nation committed to a shared identity. Not as rivals, competing internally while the world advances towards prosperity. We are fortunate that at this pivotal moment, Nigeria is led by a president who understands both the fragility and the strength of our diversity, and who recognizes that national unity must never be sacrificed on the altar of narrow ambition or short-term political gain. Under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, our future will not be negotiated by those who exploit historical fault lines to sow division and resentment. This administration is committed to engaging Nigerians across all divides in a spirit of fairness, inclusion, and shared responsibility, and to strengthening unity through equitable development and responsible governance. Yet, achieving national unity is not the responsibility of government alone. Political actors such as those gathered here occupy a uniquely influential position. Your words shape public discourse. Your conduct models acceptable behavior. Your choices either expand or constrain the space for cooperation. Building unity across ethnic and tribal lines requires deliberate effort, sustained dialogue, cross-regional alliances, and inclusive narratives that affirm the dignity of all groups. Now, this does not, again, I repeat, does not require the erasure of difference. It requires the recognition that diversity can be a source of strength when governed by fairness and mutual respect. Fairness and mutual respect. Let me segue very briefly into what happened, or where we are, why we are where we are today, or with some parties. We are witness today of a political party, a behemoth, a powerful party in this country at one time that seems to have been destroyed now. If you examine and interrogate the destruction, many may want to allude or point to one singular man who was the catalyst for that destruction. But that is not deep thinking. That party was destroyed because some people in that party did not believe in the unity of Nigeria. That party was destroyed because some people did not believe in the doctrine of rotational presidency. The party was destroyed because some people did not believe in the notion of federal character as enshrined in the Constitution. Some people did not believe in equity and fairness. And so it was easy for anyone to speak to those who imbibed equity, fairness, and justice. That's why that party is where it is today. Now, like I said, this does not require the erasure of difference. It requires the recognition that diversity can be a source of strength. Political leaders must consistently communicate that disagreement is not hostility, that diversity is not disloyalty, and that compromise in the national interest is not weakness, but statesmanship. The principles of a rotational presidency between the North and the South stands as one of the clearest expressions of principled compromise in the service of our national interest. It was not born of weakness, but of the wisdom of earlier generations of political leaders who understood that in a diverse nation such as ours, inclusion is the foundation of stability. This arrangement was deliberately designed to manage our differences, ease tensions, prevent needless conflict, and keep Nigeria steadily moving forward on the path of unity and progress. Surely, if one party, a massive party, can be brought to its knees because of what people thought was unfair, I shudder to think what could happen to Nigeria when people begin to think that things are unfair, whether you're from the South or from the North. We must avoid that. Those who now seek to upend this understanding in pursuit of narrow, short-term political ambitions must pause and reflect. No personal aspiration, no transient political gain should be allowed to endanger the hard-won balance that sustains our country or to place individual desires above the enduring interests of Nigeria and the collective well-being of its people. The critical challenge facing Nigerian politics is the temptation to mobilize identity as a shortcut to power. Ethnic and tribal affiliations, deeply rooted in history and culture, can easily be transformed into instruments of political exclusion. Yet, while some strategies may yield short-term gains, they inflict long-term damage on national cohesion. When political competition is conducted in ways that amplify ethnic suspicion, tribal rivalry, or religious fear, it corrodes trust and weakens the foundations of the state. If we look at many countries around the world today that are heterogeneous, multi-ethnic, and those of them that practice some form of presidential or rotational presidency, you will see stability. For those that do not, you see instability. Like one of our political leaders says, you can fact check me. Conversely, when leaders emphasize common interests, shared destiny, and mutual respect, they create the conditions for peaceful coexistence and collective progress. The tone and conduct of political leadership, therefore, matter profoundly. And so, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Tinubu presidency has made fairness, openness, and broad participation core principles of how government operates. A historic milestone has been reached. Each of Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones now has its own developmental commission. These commissions are empowered to direct federal investment towards infrastructure and people-centered programs tailored to the distinct realities and obstacles facing different parts of our nation. President Tinubu's government has advanced numerous initiatives built on the foundation of national unity. through programs that span the entire country, economic reforms that include all Nigerians, and coordinated security efforts. The administration works to strengthen bonds among citizens regardless of region. This approach reflects the renewed hope agenda's core emphasis on unity, shared responsibility, and progress that benefits everyone. A key element of this unity vision is designing national programs that intentionally reach across geographical, ethnic, and religious boundaries. Take the Renewed Hope Ward Development Program, a community-level initiative designed to reach at least 1,000 people in each of Nigeria's 8,809 wards, ensuring that citizens in every state feel seen and included in federal policy making. President Tinubu regularly connects tax reform, social investments, and economic restructuring to infrastructure and social services that touch every constituency and senatorial district and advance collective prosperity rather than concentrating benefits in particular regions. Infrastructure development has been positioned as a unifying force with major projects serving as symbols of both physical connection and shared national purpose. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, under construction, crossing several southern states, and the ongoing Sokoto-Badagry Highway, connecting Nigerians far north to the southwest, represent more than trade routes. They create pathways for inter-ethnic interaction and mutual appreciation. I see those two major roads and highways, and I call them roads of unity. Road expansions and improvements across the country are similarly presented as part of an inclusive development narrative, including the interest-free students' loan for students in tertiary institutions across the country, the discounted cancer treatment in selected public hospitals across the country, and many more. Our administration has also positioned security and civic engagement as foundations for unity, encouraging citizens, media, and institutions to offer constructive feedback while preserving national harmony. Security sector reforms, including movement towards more localized policing and enhanced coordination among security and intelligence bodies across regions, are described as measures to safeguard all Nigerians equally, regardless of ethnic background or state. Ladies and gentlemen, we arrive at a moment that demands reflection and resolve. History teaches us that there are seasons when nations are tested, not by the absence of opportunity, but by the weight of choice. This is such a season for Nigeria. The decisions we make now, the language we choose, the divisions we inflame, or the bridges we build will echo far beyond our own time. The price of freedom, they say, is eternal vigilance. In our context, vigilance means guarding our unity with the same seriousness with which we guard our sovereignty. For unity is not an ornament of statehood. No, it is its backbone. Without it, no constitution endures, no economy prospers, and no flag truly represents the hopes of the people. Let me be clear. The work of national unity is not glamorous. It is often slow, difficult, and deeply uncomfortable. It requires listening when it is easier to shout, compromising when it is tempting to dominate, and trusting when suspicion seems safer. Yet history is unequivocal that great nations are not built by those who exploit fear, but by those who rise above it. This is why leadership matters. Not leadership defined by position alone, but leadership expressed through moral example, restraint, and vision. Yet there is reason for confidence. Nigeria has endured because time and again, its people have found the capacity to pull back. We have found at each turn that capacity to pull back from the brink. We have survived military rule, economic upheaval, and profound social change. We have done so not because we are without differences, but because at critical moments, enough Nigerians chose country over faction and hope over despair. That same choice confronts us today, and it must be made not by government alone, but by all of us, leaders and followers, elders and youth, citizens at home, and Nigerians in the diaspora. Let us therefore leave this summit resolved to speak, act, and lead differently. Let us commit to a politics that seeks to persuade rather than provoke, to unite rather than divide, and to elevate rather than diminish our common humanity. As Marcus Aurelius wrote nearly 2,000 years ago, what we do now echoes in eternity. If that is true, then let our echo be one of unity, courage, and shared prosperity and shared purpose. May history record that when Nigeria stood at a crossroads, we chose the harder path of unity, the longer road of cooperation, and the higher calling of nationhood. May it be said that we understood the moment, rose to meet it, and handed to those who came after us a country more united, more peaceful, and more prosperous than the one we inherited. That is our charge. That is our responsibility. And if we embrace it together, there is no doubt that Nigeria's best days still lie ahead. I thank you. God bless you. And God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
That is it. That is it. When you say the keynote address will be presented, in most cases, it's a fulcrum of the gathering of the people who believe in the objectives of why they are there. It is very clear that the keynote address by our convener gave out a number of very striking issues. But let me really step backward about national unity. When I was asked to anchor this function, I went to research. And one of the things I found about statesmen and great men in this country who spoke about national unity, and in the same way, they arrive at one thing. But the one that resonates is the words of our late statesman, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. And he has this to say in one of the functions, that the people united can never be defeated. Unity is the cornerstone of nation building. And that indeed has put together of all the words from our very dear own Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, whom today has given us an inspiring keynote address. His words were not only illuminated, or did not only illuminate the challenges before us, but also provided a clear vision of the opportunities that lie ahead. We're grateful to you, sir, for your wisdom, your leadership, and your continued commitment to strengthening our democracy. Sir, we thank you very much for gracing this summit, not just as a participant, but as a convener. and also enriching our deliberations today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together one more time for our great Nigerian. Thank you very much, sir. I will quickly wish to take this acknowledgement. Distinguished Senator Surajudeen Basiru, National Secretary of APC. A round of applause. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. And also been made to understand, with your permission, sir, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is ably represented at this occasion by Senator Jack Tilegado, OFR, CON. Is a Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council of the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. As we move on, all right, thank you very much. I really would not want to bridge the program that is stated here. I have the next interlude. There is a great Nigerian that would love to listen. Timmy, is Timmy in the room? Make some noise for him. Timmy, are you there? Oh, very super guy. Timmy, that name. Please, let's put our hands together for this lovely Nigerian as we move on to stage to please treat us to some refreshing interlude as we sit back and then relax to enjoy this forum. Please make some noise. You know, when this young man was introduced somewhere, people fainted. You could not even faint. You could not even attempt to die. Please put your hands together one more time as I have him right here on the podium. Thank you.
We stand as a people, one song, with one song and one voice, we're a nation undivided and poised. We will take a stand and build our land in faith to defend what is ours. See, we are as a people with one heart and for one cause. We're determined to rebuild and restore. Where freedom rises at the root, reveals our land, where there's hope for us all. Said our land, where there's hope for you and I. We'll defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll shine like the sun. We're a great nation. Though we are many people, different tribes in different tongues. We're united in a strength and resolve to uphold the honor of and our land, and for generations to come. Said, and for generations to come. We'll defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll shine like the sun. We're a great nation.
Please, may we all rise, may we all rise. We're here for unity. Hold everyone together. Let's hold our hands. Let's celebrate unity. Everybody should rise, please.
So we are all we have. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria, and we'll know we'll get there someday. Can somebody say we'll defend? We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we will shine like the sun. From the north, south, east, and west, we are all we have. We'll defend. So we believe in Nigeria, and we'll know we'll get there someday. We are all we have. We'll defend it. So we believe in Nigeria, and the promise she holds, and that one day we will shine like the sun. Every Nigerian hear this. Nigeria hear this. What a great nation.
Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move straight now to the communique very, very quickly. And this will be handled by no other person.
Please, no one should move here. Please. Please, can people leave the podium? You can't stand behind people. Please leave. If you are not part of this, please. Please,
let's
only
be
security
seated.
men. Go ahead.
Please, let's be seated. This is a very important aspect. Very important. To handle this segment, I will be calling on Right Honorable Babangida Unguruje. He is a former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, and of course is a man of achievement. Please, put your hands together as he comes.
Well, my leaders,
I want to stand on the existing protocol. Your Excellencies, my chairman, former presiding officers, our colleagues, delegates from various parts of the country are welcome to this timely and very important summit. Now we are going to read the communique of the summit. So, communique of the National Forum of Former Legislators at her 2026 National Summit. Communique, National Summit of Former Legislators. Team, National Unity and Nation Building Beyond 2031. Issued at the conclusion of the National Summit of Former Legislators held on 24th January 2026 at NAF Conference Center, Kado, Abuja, Nigeria. Preamble. We, former members of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having deliberated extensively on the state of the nation, democratic stability, national unity, and the future of our constitutional order, hereby issue the communique in the spirit of patriotism, inclusiveness, and national cohesion. Our resolutions are guided by the need to strengthen democracy. As you know, democracy is the government of the people, for the people, by the people. So preserve unity and promote trust among all the regions of the country. As you can see, almost all the regions of the country are here. So resolutions. 1, commitment to national dialogue. We reaffirm that the dialogue, consultation, and peaceful engagement must always remain Nigeria's primary tool for resolving political and social and regional challenges. We emphasize that Nigerian issues must be resolved by Nigerians and through dialogue, constitutional and democratic means. 2, rotation of the presidency in 2031. In keeping with the spirit of equity, inclusion, and national balance, we affirm that the presidency should rotate to the Northern region in 2021 by the grace of God, inshallah. After the completion of the Southern presidency and the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagawa of Burgu. Constitutional entrenchment of rotational principle. To eliminate doubt, reduce political tension, and build enduring trust between Northern and the Southern region, we call for the principle of rotational presidency to be enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As you all know, we are amending the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria now. So this will promote fairness, strengthen national unity, and provide clarity for the future generations here on board. Continuity of reforms. In order to consolidate ongoing reform, strengthen national unity, and deepen democratic governance, we collectively resolve that the current President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria should be supported to complete the full 8 years of traditionally accorded to the Southern presidency in the interest of stability, fairness, and democratic consistency. So we therefore pass a vote of absolute confidence on the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR and adopt him as our sole candidate for 2027 general election. Conclusion, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to a united, peaceful, and prosperous Nigeria. We call on all our political leaders, institutions, and citizens to uphold the value of democracy, justice, national cohesion in the collective interest of our great nation called Nigeria. So thank you very much for finding time to come and attend this very important summit. And the summit is timely. Yes, and the summit is timely and is imperative. So I'm sure we'll all go back as a united people. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's Senator Yakubu Oseni.
Yes, A motion for adoption.
Actually, I should have my seat. I'm going to call on Right Honorable Senator. No. Okay. Senator Yakubu Oseni from the north. Senator Yakubu Oseni to move the motion for the adoption of the communique. What is it? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. The chairman of the occasion, the convener, all the elders, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Okay. My role here now is to move for the adoption of the communique and also for the adjournment of this occasion. I am Senator Yakubu Oseni from Kogi State. I hereby move the motion for the adoption of the communique of this all-important national summit of former legislators with the theme National Unity and Nation Building beyond 2031, and also move for the adjournment of this occasion. I so move.
Okay. I am calling on distinguished Senator Florence Itagiwa. Senator Florence Itagiwa to second the motion.
Senator
Itagiwa.
Florence Itagiwa, ma'am, you are expected to be here to move to second the motion. Yes, ma'am.
Where is she?
She's here. She's here. She's the one moving the motion.
Thank you very much. My name is Senator Princess Florence Itagiwa, Cross River State. I stand here to second the motion for the adoption of the communique as ably presented by the person that moved the motion, and also second the motion for adjournment of this function sine die, and pray that we all go home in safety and God's protection.
Put the question. Put the question. Go ahead.
The motion has been seconded, and I'm calling on those of us here to now, those in favor of what Senator Florence Itagiwa said, those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. No, there's no nay here. Thank you.
The Gavel is not here. He has hit it. Thank you very much. A round of applause. Let's celebrate ourselves. Thank you. Thank you. Just to close this, I wish to invite Honorable Adamu Fanda, the chairman, local organizing committee, to please help us move the vote of thanks. Honorable Adamu Fanda, please. Come forward and move a vote of thanks. Are you here? Adamu Fanda, you need to move a vote of thanks. Thank all of us here. Thank you very much, Honorable.
On behalf of the convener, may I have the honor and privilege to most respectively thank all distinguished guests that turned out for this memorable occasion, and also wish and pray that we return back to our respective destinations safely. Thank you for turning up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Adamu Fanda. It will now group photographs. Please, photographs will be organized in a better way. I also wish to place on record that the Honorable Minister of State ought to have been here, but he has sent his apologies and is with us in spirit. The Honorable Minister of Defense, we thank you very much. We also spotted distinguished Senator Ararume. Thank you very much, sir. Good to have you. All distinguished. I wanted to tell you that you have not introduced Ararume. I am so sorry, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Agbo, thank you very much for being here, everyone. Congratulations. Please, the national anthem. The Honorable Minister of State for Defense sent his apologies, but he's with us in spirit. God bless you. I'm so sorry. Distinguished Senator, that we know him, a young man, a friend. We know him very well. Thank you very much. I know very much. Senator Musli Obanikoro, a young man, he's always there. God bless you. Honorable Chula Friday, thank you very much. My senator is here. Please, shall we take the national anthem? The band, can you give us the national anthem? The first stanza. Please, may we stand for the national anthem. The band, are we there? The music set. Oh my God.
Nigeria, we
the national anthem is on. Please, can we stay back? No noise.
Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Thank you very much. It's been nice having you at the National Summit. Enjoy yourselves. Group photographs will be on. And I wish you journey messes back to your destination. My name is John Pilaku and my colleague, the Cynthia Agbo. We thank the National Coordinator for this privilege. We'll be with you anytime, any day when you invite us. God bless you and enjoy the rest of the day. Have a
Although social